Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the Alpinestars Tech 10 off-road boot. Now, the Tech 10 is the pro model boot from Alpinestars. It's certainly no spring chicken. This boot has been tried and true and been around for a number of years. It's built on technology which has, in its inception, was considered pretty radical because it deviated from the normal style of boot and sole design on a Moto-Cross boot. But what we've seen here is this type of construction which really sets it apart. Offer this boot a different style of performance, a bit of a low-profile toe, and the ability to inject more protective materials that'll take a 250-pound impact at the toe while keeping the same type of feel and feedback that you would want to get out of a Moto-Cross boot. Now, if we look at this, it's a high boot design. It's certainly very technical. What's going to jump out at you immediately are the myriad of different components that live here. Before we get into there, let's talk about fit. Now, the fit of the Tech 10 compared to some of the other models that are not as technical as this pro model from Alpinestars, the Tech 10 is going to have an inner bootie. It's an inner bootie that, in our opinion, takes its inspiration from something like the Super Tech R. It has the biomechanical dual hinge. It has a full injection molded TPU that supports around the heel and goes up the back of the foot. But what that adds a little bit more width to the inside of the boot. So what we typically find is that some folks, depending on the side of your foot, may need to go a size up to account for the inner bootie. And again, to not have to circle back on this inner bootie, you might as well talk about it a little bit. The dual hinge design, which is tunable and replaceable, the beauty of it is that if it was a single hinge, what happens is if you have any torsion or any twisting of your foot, it's going to directly transfer that energy to your knee. The beauty of the dual hinge is it allows for flexibility and twisting that's going to save your knee if you get yourself into trouble. It's lightweight, it's comfortable, it's wicking, it has a lightweight sole that interfaces with the sole components of the Tech 10. So that's the inner bootie design. Now, from an application, we talked about hardcore, we're talking about pro level, we're talking about the beefiest, most protective, but versatile boot that they're putting out. Let's home in right back on that sole. So multiple densities, multiple compounds here that are going to allow for feel and for flex. The sole of this is a different style sole, but it's built in a shape that is motocross and dirt friendly. You'll notice that we have this interior panel here, which is replaceable. A-Stars will replace it for 30 bucks. The whole sole can be resold for $80. So what that allows you to do here with a high-end boot that's going to be north of that $500 range is really just get a extreme lifetime out of the boot. It's going to take a long time, a lot of crashing, and a lot of wear to wear this bad boy out, especially if you're going to keep up and take care of it and take care of the sole replacement when need be. Now, jumping right into the buckles, one of the things that's different about these boots, and you see it from Alpinestars, is sometimes you see the buckles, especially here on the Tech 10, move to the instep or the top of the foot. That's done because if they sit along the side, and again, these are aluminum buckles that are set it and forget it, so you adjust for your size back here, and then what you do is for quick in and quick out, you do that. If these buckles sat on the side, depending on the type of wreck that you could find yourself in, you could run the risk of shearing the buckles off. So what they've done is they've moved them out of the impact zone into an area that's a little less likely to be getting caught between the boot, the ground, or the boot and the bike. Looking along the outside or the lateral side here, lots of protection. So TPU hard parts, large heel cockpit. We have this ridge, this tongue and groove ridge that runs up the Achilles tendon. That allows for some flexibility, but gives you support along your Achilles tendon. Nice big heel counter here. And moving to the medial side of the boot, or the inside, again, we're going to start to see multiple types of component. So you're going to have a TPU, which is a little bit more hard and smooth. You're going to see this grip panel here, which is a more rubberized finish that's going to interface and provide feel and grip with the bike. Moving up past that, you have this suede leather that comes up and it acts as a heat shield, and again, another area for contact with the bike depending on how aggressively you're riding. Looking across the panel on the top, any of the leather areas, there's some suede. We see full grain cowhide that's built in here on the Tech 10. And then moving up to the shin, it's embossed. It has that huge TPU, but a lot of protection and comfort. There's padding behind it built into the anterior region of this boot to protect you from the foot pegs, protect you from the bike, protect you from other riders. Again, off-roading or supercross style riding can be destructive in its nature, and you want to be as best protected as you can. 6 colors available in this boot, might I add. And as we break it open, You're going to see, again, large areas of TPU that encapsulate the back to provide good resistance from impact and crush. Big area of Velcro at the top. As we break it in, I actually have the inner bootie left in this boot, but you can see along the top, you're going to have this hard plastic that's rubberized that comes along to create a great seal against your leg, and then you're going to have areas of leather and areas of almost a bubble mesh that are going to wick sweat away and allows you to stay comfortable. There is a vented version, as with most off-road boots from Alpinestars. The white version is going to be vented. The other colors are not going to be vented. It's not waterproof, but I will tell you, it takes a lot of work. Oop, I sucked in one of my buckles here. It takes a lot of work to get water in this boot depending on the riding conditions you're riding in. It's just all-encompassing. There's a gaiter there. There's a lot of protection, and when worn correctly, it's going to provide a really tight seal against your foot, encapsulating you from as much danger as you possibly can while providing the response that you're going to need to be able to feel your bike. So if you're looking at the Alpinestars line, you know, I'm not going to say a step down because it's a different boot, but if this is the Pro model boot, you see a lot of guys at a very high level wearing something like a Tech 8 or a Tech 8 Lite, which has, the difference is going to be really the sole and the construction. It's more of a traditional motors or off-road sole. If you have any questions about the Tech 10, you definitely need to shoot us a line. We'll walk you through the process. We'll help you compare and contrast the nuances around this high-end boot compared to its brethren from Alpinestars and some other brands that are putting high-end boots on the market. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. We certainly want to know your feedback, what your experience has been with the Tech 10, or what you think if you're just seeing it for the first time. Leave us that feedback on our YouTube channel at RevZilla TV, which you can also subscribe to, or on Facebook or on the product page at RevZilla.com. As always, it's over $39. We're shipped for free, exchange for free, no restock fees as long as you send it back to us in brand spanking new condition, and you can earn TeamZilla cash on any order over $100 to be applied to your next order, help you save some money with RevZilla in the long run. Thank you for watching our detailed breakdown of the Alpinestars Tech 10 off-road boot, available at RevZilla.com/Alpinestars. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.